Killed it. Nerd. Killed it. Nerd.
You're a muppet. Hi and welcome to episode 47 of the Arya Bark podcast. My name's Caroline.
And I'm Captain Hook, also known as Andrew.
Okay. It's going to be one of the days.
Last night's.
Ah, yes. You've totally knocked me off.
That means it's working. That is my job on this podcast.
And we're coming to you from our home in Fife in Scotland. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's great to have you here.
Yar!
You can find details.
I'm not doing anything. I'll
I
look away.
dislike you so much.
I'll look away.
You can find detailed show notes on the Arya Bark website, which is aryabark.co.uk. You can find me on Ravelry as either Arya Bark or my personal account, which is Sultra.
I am PlumberBoy21.
We have a Ravelry group, which is the Arya Bark podcast. We have a private group on the website for anyone who would like to take part in make-alongs or chatter
or plundering of stash.
Help me. Please.
It's a pirate life for me.
If you would like to join, you just go into the community tab, then groups. We'll ask you a few questions, make sure that you're a crafter, and then after that you just press login. We have an Instagram page, which is Arya Bark Designs. We have a Facebook page, which is Arya Bark Designs, and we have a Ko-fi page, which is Arya Bark Designs.
We are currently running 2 make-alongs, the first of which is the New Things Make-Along 2021. You must be a member via the Ravelry group or the private group on the website via an Ancient account. Physical prizes will be drawn quarterly. The next draw is on the 2nd of January 2022. Physical prizes for the FO thread. The winner for that will be drawn by random number generator. Then Mr. Bark and myself, which is an entry each month from the chatter thread, and the winner will receive a pattern of their choice up to the value of 10 gold coins, also pounds.
Help.
From our booty.
Maybe coming for yours, but certainly not coming for mine.
Whips are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged. Enter as many projects as you like if it can be shown. If you can show how it's new to you. Examples include, but are not limited to, new yarn brand or colourway, stitch pattern or designer, new technique or construction site. The second make along is the hashtag
Yes.
ABD Stash Mash 2021. You must be a member of, again, either the Ravelry group or the private group on the website for your Ancient account. Physical prizes will be drawn quarterly, so don't say that.
The next draw will be at the end of January 2022. We'll give you a date next week when I actually look at a calendar.
Physical prizes for the FO thread. For that, the winner again will be drawn by random number generator. Then again, Mr. Bark and myself, which is an entry each month from the chatter thread. And the winner will receive a pattern of their choice up to the value of £10 or gold coins. Just saying.
So hard.
Whips are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged. If it can be measured in metres, it can be entered. So knitting, crochet, Tunisian crochet, weaving, spinning and cross stitch if you can measure it in metres. Goals are at your own discretion. You can increase or decrease whenever you like. Each person entering will have one FO thread post that all projects will be logged in.
Now, we've had some questions regarding Stash Mash. You can still enter Stash Mash if you choose. We're also saying that if you are entering, obviously it's November now, you can add in everything that you've crafted so far in 2021. It's up to you if you add them. You don't have to. It's your choice. It's your goal. We'll leave that to you. The other question that we have had recently is in regards to people who do sample knitting or test knitting, whether that would count. Now, what we've said is, as long as the remaining stash is going into your totals, then that would count. If you're using your own stash, it would definitely count. But if you're being given stash to knit, like say a sample knit, and the designer said to you, well, whatever's left over you can keep, that most definitely counts, because we can't say it Disney, because your stash totals will go up with no possible benefit. So if you were given the stash and you were to send the sample and the yarn back, then unfortunately that technically wouldn't count. But if you have to keep the remaining yarn, then by all means add away. We don't mind. To be honest, let's be really clear, I have zero inclination to going and checking everybody's stash. I am not the Ravelry police, I am not the Stash Mash police. It's your choice whether you add it or whether you don't, but we do not have a problem with people adding in samples that they've knit or test knits, because I know there's a lot of people, and one specific person who does very little knitting of her own and a lot of sampling test knitting for someone else. So we want to be as inclusive as possible.
Hey.
For God's sake. Care about gonna know. Really, gonna know. Make sure when you're putting your entries into the FO threads that you're also sticking them into the charter threads to double your chances of winning a prize, and also because I like to comment. That's lovely.
Oh my god, I love that.
Love it.
Love that.
Now, as promised.
Have you finally done it? Or...
No, my laptop eventually reverted back. Now I have my tool back. I can stick pictures in. So, the winners of the monthly, that was the word I was looking for, monthly pattern prize for the New Things Make Along, it is Audrey, who is Audibod. For post number 269, which is the Travelling Light shawl, we'll stick a picture in. Oh, for goodness sake, here we go. The Stash Mash 2021, I'm actually going to thump you. Prize winner for October is Ashley, who is Hey Ashley 1988 for post number 119, which I'll stick a picture in. This is for the Musselburgh hat. If you lovely ladies would like to let me know which pattern you would like up to the value of £10, shut your face!
I'm not saying anything. Nothing has been said.
I'll tell you, see, the next time you clap, I'm going to thump you. Up to the value of £10, you can contact me on Ravelry or private message me on Instagram. I can see your hand twitching.
I was going to clap it.
It's fine, I'm just waiting till we get off the video, and next week you'll need a proper pair of sunglasses to cover up your black eyes.
It's a hostile work environment. Don't know why. Don't know why I went to drink.
So to recap, if you lovely ladies would like to contact me either on Ravelry or privately on Instagram, let me know which pattern you would like up to the value of £10/$. I will get that to you as soon as possible. In this week's episode we have coming in, and it's no yarn this time, it's worse, and an intervention. A really big intervention.
You've got a warehouse.
I've got Ravelry. Going out, stash mash and whips. In this week's episode there's just a lot of knitting. And timestamps for each section can be found in the description box below. Now, I'm about to throw somebody under a bus. And don't be shocked, it's not Andrew.
You've tried.
I've tried, I can't lift them. I'm going to have to blame somebody for, and it's the same person for all of them. I'm blaming Heather. Sorry Heather, it's your fault for all of these. None of them, let's be honest, I'm no feeling guilty or any of them. Just to clarify, I feel no guilt. One was a gift, the other 4, free will. Just saying. Heather very kindly gifted me a pattern. Now I'll stick a picture in because seriously,
I don't. So unprofessional.
It's like a blanket and a cardigan combined.
Blank again.
A blank again.
Blank again. Trademarked.
Just saying. Now this is by the Cozy Cottage Crochet, who is Hannah. Love Hannah. Really do love Hannah. Now, I'll leave a link down below. I know she did bring an episode today. Haven't quite got to the end because it's like 5 to 10 and we need to get this recorded. But I did watch our last episode, and I'll leave a link to that down below, where she explained some stuff, and I watched it, and I'm not going to lie, there was actual tears. All I'm going to say is, despite the bad rap that our NHS gets, I have never been so grateful that we do not have to worry about going to a doctor and getting stuff done. Now, this pattern, it's a 4-ply crochet cardigan. Now, I have watched the recent episode up to the point where she's thinking about doing a DK version. I'll be watching it for that coming. I love a lot of DK.
And a lot of wonky shelves.
You can't help it if we warehouse don't stabilise their shelves properly. It's not my fault.
No,
I can't help it if Ravelry has that many patterns on it that the shelves become wonky. Just saying, walk past the shelf and all these patterns start falling in. Not my fault.
no,
As I said, I have no guilt over any of these patterns. The cardigan is sized between 30 inches and 70 inches, so it's very, very size inclusive, and there's also modifications if you're wanting it a bit baggier, a bit looser, whatever. Now, what I did notice is the pattern's supposed to be worn with a lot of positive ease. And unlike some patterns, it's already built in. I don't have to measure myself and go, oh, it's wanting like 40 inches positive E's. What size is that again? None of that. You pick your size, you do that size, the positive E's built in. Bro. Just saying, very bro. So, after watching Hannah's podcast, I thought, well, I really do like Hannah's stuff. So, I went on and bought the Bellatrix shawl. Now that again is a 4-ply crochet shawl. It uses between 823 and 1189 metres, depending on the size. Hannah tells you how to adjust it if you're wanting a smaller size or a bigger size. But then the next pattern that I saw, I thought, really like that one too, and it is this one. It is the City shawl. Again, that's a 4-ply crochet shawl. It uses between 732 and 777 metres. Again, depending on what size you want, you can make it bigger or smaller. Love it. So, bought that one too. And I don't feel guilty. I am supporting a small indie designer.
You gonna have time in this lifetime to make them?
Maybe. But it doesn't matter because I'm supporting a small indie designer. It's there should I choose to knit on it. At some point.
You mean crochet? Aren't they all crochets?
Nah, crochet. If I decide to use the pattern, it will be there in my list at some point.
You mean in the hard drive?
Yes.
The 2 terabyte hard drive? Room to improve. It's growth range.
I'm not even going to admit how many patterns I've got. Remember how a couple of weeks ago I was all proud of myself because I got rid of all the patterns that I was never ever going to knit or crochet or ever use at all?
Mm.
I've got hunters. I've got nearly 3,000. And I don't even think I've knitted 0.0001% of the ones that are on that hard drive.
Well, aren't most of them all old, your grand's old ones that you scanned in?
On, was it Friday? It was on Friday's Zoom. And again, Heather, I'm sorry, but if you hadn't said anything, I would have forgotten. And one of them she didn't even know was out. But she's getting the blame for that one too. Because had I not been on the lookout for the last one, I would never have seen this one. You need to buy this pattern. Seriously. You need to buy this pattern. So, you all know I have a very unhealthy obsession with Albina McLaughlin.
I'm still waiting on the restraining order is there a restraining order or is that American? Oh, I went American again.
No, I think it's a restraining order right here.
Coming in.
So, I'll put a picture in the first one. Now, Heather showed me this when she'd finished it. Well, Heather described it. And I was like, I need that. Don't know when I'm going to use it, but I need it. I very rarely go out the house, but I need it. Absolutely love this. Now, this, you do the back, you start at the bottom of the back, work up, down and you can wear it as a vest, you can wear it as a scarf.
I've seen
Awesome!
this one.
What?
I know what one you're talking about.
Oh, seriously, how awesome is that pattern?
That was cool.
Now, that is called Cluedy. Can I just say, Albina? The reason I like Albina is because she's secretly teaching me Irish Gaelic. My great grandfather would be thrilled that I'm learning Irish Gaelic. Cannot speak a word of Scottish Gaelic, but I've got about 5 words doing in the Irish version.
Could he speak it?
Your great grandfather, yes, he could, because he was Irish. This is an arm pattern, and you can wear it as either a vest or a scarf. It's basically what happens when a vest and a scarf mate. This is what's produced. It's ace. I need one. That's my next cast on. And the heart that Albina showed a picture this morning. I can't stop. It's bad. So,
go to, like,
Albina McLaughlin Anonymous.
Or Pattern Buyers Anonymous.
You don't go there if you've got a problem.
PBA.
PBA.
Don't go to the PBA. That's a different thing.
So, I was on Ravelry and I think we were talking about another one of Albina's patterns, and I clicked and had it sort of be release date. And I clicked on it, and then there's this new pattern came to the top, and I was like, Heather, you'll never believe it, there's another pattern I don't have. Oh my god. And I clicked on it, I was like, really? But really though. The next pattern is this. Now I'll show you this picture. You're never going to guess how much that cost. This pattern, €1. Or here, yesterday it was 89p, today it's 90. 90 pence for a pattern. That's one I sent you because I felt guilty. You can either get it for free. Albina does give you a code to get it for nothing. Or you can pay the measly price of €1. Or if you're here, anywhere between 89ish and 92ish pence, depending on conversion rates. 90 pence. You can't even buy a ball of wool for 90 pence. And it's stunning. That one is a DK pattern. It is a cowl and it comes in 3 sizes. It is well worth the price. Or if you're feeling generous and you want to support another indie designer, you can always buy all your friends one. Just saying. Don't feel guilty.
So you went from an addict to a dealer.
Yeah. Seriously, you have to knit an Albina pattern. Everybody needs to knit. Do you want to knit an Albina pattern? Because, like, seriously. Once you knit an Albina pattern, you cannot knit anything else. She spoils you.
To be fair, at this point, I can't knit anything else.
Well, that cowl you'll be able to. That's a DK one. Use some of the stuff that Raylan sent you. You'll be able to do that cowl. Easy. I'll do the usual spoiler alert because I have finished something. So I'll leave wee timestamps up here if you don't want to see the finished Stephen Wishaw, because I've finished it. Now, let the people leave that don't want to see it, and I'll discuss.
And then everybody can sit there and try and guess where Andrew is.
So, look it up. This is the finished Stephen Wishaw.
Technicoloured shawl.
It has been blocked. I've still to snip my ends because I had to do a wee bit of mini drying. So we'll do a run through. Start off with your colour A, which is here. That was easy enough. So it gets you to do 5 billion I chords. And then you went to section 2, which is the wedge section. Now, my wedge section isn't correct because clearly I couldn't read it apart. So my bits are all wrong, and do I care? No, I don't. Because really, it's none.
What did you do?
My colours are in the right.
Oh, so it's just the colours are wrong.
I've put the colours in the wrong order, and to be honest with you, I really don't care. Do not care. Then we move on to section 3, which can I just say was thoroughly enjoyable. Loved it. So I've got my colour A, my colour D, my colour E, and my C. Love it. Then we have the macaroni. Seriously? Well, tell me that doesn't look like macaroni.
It's wrong colour.
Well, it's blue, but if it wasn't blue, it would look like macaroni. Right, so I've got my macaroni bits.
Been sitting a while.
Which the minute I done, I was like, okay, it's fine.
Do you want to tell folk what you did with your macaroni?
Shut up, Andrew. Shut your face. Right, see, like here, there's wee dangly bits. I thought I was cutting a wee dangly bit. What I was actually cutting was, like, see one of these bits that actually hold the stitch on. That's what I cut. And one of my wee macaroni bits fell off. One of my macaroni bits fell off, and I had to rip the entire thing back. Now, at the time, I was like literally here when I done it, and I had to rip all that back out, all my macaroni bits to about there, and redo it.
To be fair, it'll be 2022 by the time I'm there.
So, eventually caught up, and then we done the welts. Never again. I had headaches for weeks after doing this, doing the welts. I had really bad eye strain. Then you do the triangles, which, can I just say, loved the triangles. Then we done baubles. See, when I seen the baubles, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. But look how bobbly my bubbles are. Oh.
Probably why they call them baubles.
That is possibly why they call them baubles.
Because they're bobbly. Jesus! I think you were going to smack me.
No, there's a fly! So these are the bubbles. Then we went on to the short row edges. Wasn't 100% sure on these bits, but
Oh no.
Stephen told me to do them, so I did them. Then the next clue comes out. No, actually, did he get you doing this? I think he got you to set this up for the wee yarn over bits. Then clue 4 came out, and it was brioche. Now you had a choice between doing brioche or doing mesh. I chose brioche because, let's face it, I may as well get a bash, and if I didn't like it, I could have ripped it out and done the mesh. But I done brioche. Is it perfect? No. Do I care enough to rip it back out? Most certainly not.
Why is it called brioche?
Because that's the name of the stitch. It's 2-colour brioche.
Why do they call it brioche though? It's somebody new.
I don't care, can we just move on?
I don't want to know.
So, brioche, there's mistakes. Do I care? No. Then we had the crisscrosses, which, seriously channeling my inner sadistic self, loved them.
Confused.
What?
It kind of looks like it shouldn't hold together.
Awesome. Then,
I think you can make a garment out of all this.
actually, up to there was clue 3. They were clue 3. Then came clue 4. Which was that? Which was never ending. This is where I was last week. This took me almost an entire week. Not going to lie, by the end of it, I was pulling my hair out.
It's got to be at least a month.
Each of these sections, I timed myself, and it took me around about 17 minutes to do a section. So you'd be at it and at it and at it for hours at a time, and then you'd look and you'd, like, honestly, you would have thought the length of time you'd be doing it, you'd be like halfway through it, and you had done like that much. And it was like, ugh. So then I tried, right, I'll count how many X's, and I'll just do it for a whole load of hours, and it's like, I've done 4. Not fun. Do I like it? I'm still on the fence. I don't like anyone enough. Well, actually, I don't dislike anyone enough to send them that. I do like the colours. I'm not going to lie, I do like the colours. There isn't a colour in it that I don't like.
It's just, it's hard to pick your colours when you didn't ken the placement of stuff.
I'm not unhappy with the placement of my colours. I love all my colours where they are. But it's these bits. I don't like that. And that was just... If anybody's looking for a torture method, get somebody this border today, because it was hellish. I'm not out and out, it's hideous, I'm putting it in the bin, because seriously, I've wasted a month on it. I would have liked it. Obviously, it's wide enough, it's a really wide shawl.
The second time you almost smacked me in the head.
It's not that deep though. Obviously, looking at previous ones that he's brought out, it's like, that's stunning. This one's like, really? Okay. I don't dislike it, I just don't
For me,
love it.
there's
I've done
too
the
much
squish.
colours.
I've done this.
Slip.
No, the garter squish blanket. Loved it. I'm doing the slip extravaganza blanket. It's a pain in the backside, but I love it. This, the most enthusiastic I can get is, it's alright.
I think there's just too much
I enjoyed
colours.
each section. There was a lot of stuff. Obviously, the short row wedges hadn't done that before. The slip stitch fees hadn't done that before. Nobody in their right mind done anything. That I enjoyed. The welts, despite the fact it gave me really bad eye strain, I still enjoyed it. That I loved. The baubles I loved. The brioche nearly had me hitting the drink. Still enjoyed it. That I thoroughly enjoyed. that, it was alright for TV knitting. And the only other great thing is you bound it off as you went. So you weren't having to put sections on, then go back and then bind off like 5 million stitches. It's alright. I done it. The other thing I was not best impressed about is how much yarn I was left with. Not a happy chappy. So these are my 5 colours. And as you can see, a load. So this is Coop Knits Soft Shade 1003, which is Argon. It's a 75% merino, 25% nylon. You get 211 metres and 50 grams. I have got 46 grams left. Next was my colour B. This one is the only one that actually used quite a bit. This is Fibre Space Vivacious, shade number 608 in Blue Lagoon. It is 100% superwash merino. You get 365 metres and 100 grams. I am left with 27 grams. My colour C is way brighter. There you go. Is Arya Bark Yarns, Sock 7525 in Lemon Graffiti. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get 400 metres and 100 grams. I am left with 51 grams of this. My colour D is Drops Fable, shade 112, which is apple green. It's a 75% wool, 25% nylon. You get 205 metres and 50 grams. I have 47 grams. I've literally used 3 grams of this. I used 4 grams of that.
In total?
In the second balls, aye.
Alright.
My colour E was... It really isn't that pink. Honestly, it's not pink. It's probably a bit that pink. It's a bit that pink.
It's my mum trying to deny her pink side.
I don't even like pink. Can I just point that out? This is Arya Bark Yarn, Sock 7525 in Pink Carnations. It is a 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. You get 400 metres and 100 grams. I have 49 grams of this left. So technically, had I taken a repeat of everything, I could have just used 50 grams each, apart from the main colour. Apart from my colour B. In total I used 280 grams and 1112 metres. Wasn't as big as what I'd hoped for, so I didn't use as much as I'd hoped for, but it's done. Will I be doing the hibernation? Probably not. Probably not. As I said last week, I probably will buy the pattern, but I will not be doing it at the end of December. I'll do it when I feel like it. As you all know by now, my goal is to craft 26,000 metres in 2021. At the beginning of this week, I had crafted 17,308.78 metres. I have used up 1,112 metres, which brings my total to 18,420 metres, 420.78 metres. I have not brought anything else in yarn wise, apart from the 38,640 metres that I've brought in this year. Oops. Which means I have 7,579.22 metres to go until my target. Oops. However, I have crocheted so far this year 2,770.8 metres. I have knit 13,380.7 metres. I have spun 253 metres, and I have woven 2,017 metres. I am also taking part in the Ravelry Project Challenge. My challenge was to craft 28 projects in 2021. I've crafted 28 projects in 2021. What are you laughing at?
I'm never going to reach mine. What was mine? 5?
12.
Oh.
Well off.
Well off.
So I'm having to rethink the whole what projects can I use to use up some yarn, because do I think I'm going to be able to craft 7,000 metres in 6 weeks? Probably not. This will be the first year that I don't actually hit my target, and I am starting to worry a lot. What? Fire. My first project is my Isley jumper. I love this jumper. Can I just say, if I had a big enough cable, I would put it on. Look, I have armholes. I've got 2 of them. This is the Isley by Albina McLaughlin. Isley means dropped or lowered in Irish Gaelic. This is where I was last week. Now, I had wanted to knit 2 to 3 inches. I surpassed myself. The other thing I wanted to do was get the arms, the sleeves separated for the body. I have done that. So that end here. So this stitch marker marks where my underarm is. Roll me round. And this is the front. This is where I was last week. I've done hundreds. Now, I have made a little bit of a mistake. Teeny tiny big mistake.
Teeny tiny big mistake, yeah.
Teeny tiny big mistake. Modifications. Asked for 6 inches of positive ease. I've got more like 8 or 9. I'm wanting a baggy jumper. I can't have anything too close because it just drives me up the wall. I am wanting the tapered sleeves, and I'm also going to be putting a hood on it. Now, I have got here possible 2+ inches longer, but that's to be decided. I'm not going to. I'm going to trust Albina because Albina's a genius. I'm going to trust Albina, and I'm going to do the pattern the way it asked. I am doing size 5, which is 134 centimetres or 53.5 inches. I am using, which brings in the teeny tiny big mistake, Stylecraft Highland Heathers in shade 3751, which is lock. Now, this is a DK. The pattern asks for Aryan. Oops.
What's that mean?
It should be thicker. It's thicker wool. Botherations. Now, This is slightly see-through. Just a teeny tiny bit. It's not completely see-through, but it's a teeny tiny bit see-through. I don't hate the fact that that's a teeny tiny bit see-through. Especially with me and hot flushes. It is not unknown for me to pull over in the car and take a cardigan off. It will be harder for me to pull over and take an entire jumper off.
You have made it of breathable material.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I like the fabric. I may need to speak to Albina because obviously this is a pre-knit. This pattern is not available at present on Ravelry. However, it was supposed to be done in Arden. I've done it in DK, is all I'm going to say.
That's going to need cut because you're smaller.
I know. I was planning on cutting it.
If not, she's off, and if it works, she's off the god. You've made a new pattern for that. A DK version. So is all it's got to do is make it see-through? Or would that make it shorter?
I have matched gauge. So I'm getting the 17, I think it's 17 stitches per inch that the gauge asked for, which is why it's slightly see-through. But it's DK. I genuinely don't know how I missed the fact that this was an Arden jumper and no a DK one. I was having a moment. But I'm no displeased with it. I still love it. I love knitting on it. I love the fake shoulder seam. It's got a fake shoulder seam. It's got, like, seriously, Albina, there's loads of wizardry going on. It's a set-in sleeve done in the round. Love that. And did I mention it's going to have a hood? So I will need to speak to Albina because that's kind of a really big mistake. That the Arden jumper is actually being done in DK, but I'm loving it. Would I be bitterly disappointed if she says, look, you're going to have to start it again? No, because I'll just put this aside, get Arden and reknit it. I don't care. I love it. Love it.
I don't care. I love it.
I am using a 5mm knit pro zing. The bottom band will be done in a 4mm and the sleeves will be done in a 3. And I already said it's not on Ravelry at the moment.
At present.
Now, this is where it becomes blatantly obvious that I have an Albina McLaughlin problem. My next project, and put it in a Christmas bag because it's Christmas.
It's not, it's November.
Show your face, it's Christmas.
I already have.
This is handcrafted by Raylene. I will leave a link to Raylene's shop.
It is a really nice bag, but I will say it's November.
It's all about the Christmas.
There's already Christmas.
I can donate these socks if you want to keep going. These are the basic sock with integrated heel by Albina McLaughlin. You'll see a pattern as I progress through my patterns, my projects. Just saying. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. Is it a free pattern on Ravelry? I don't think it is a free pattern on Ravelry. I may have a correction corner next week because I can't actually remember if the pattern is free. I don't think it is. I think it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. If you're unable to use Ravelry and would like any of Albina's patterns, I know for a fact you can contact her directly on Instagram. I'll leave details up here about what her Instagram name is. I think it's just Albina. And if you contact her directly through Instagram, she'll arrange for you to pay her and she'll send you the pattern. How she does it, I don't know. Obviously, I just buy mine from Ravelry because she's awesome. So, modifications at present, I'm doing none. I'm just following the pattern as it's written. Size is a UK size 10.
9.5 more.
Well, I've done a 10.
I'm offended you don't know my feet size.
I checked your Vans and they were a 10. 10, shit face. At least you can't say they're too tight.
You're fat. You made me bed socks.
You wear these to your bed, I will kill you.
Why? It's a lot safer than wearing them to my work.
The yarn I'm using is Do Not Pull It because I'm on a 9-inch circular and the stitches are very precariously dangling off the needle. I am using West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in shade 849, which is the Fairy Lights. This is not the sparkle base. This is the original Fairy Lights.
I'm offended.
It is a 75% wool, 25% nylon. You get 400 metres and 100 grams. I am using a 2.5mm 9-inch circular. Now, I started these yesterday morning on Zoom. I am going to I'm actually going to thump you.
I've officially lost it.
I started these yesterday on the Zoom at 11 o'clock. I have got to here, put the toe in, and I'm just knitting up until Albina tells me to stop. I must say I'm really enjoying it. Not having to think about patterns and all the rest of it. I don't even have, because normally this will be like the front and I'll mark the toe, and on the back I'll mark the toe at the back and I'll count X amount of stitches all the way up. I'm living vicariously because I just realised I may possibly get a bit twitchy not knowing how many rows I've done, but because obviously I'm only doing them one at a time. The lovely Heather does assure me that Albina does hers 2 at a time, so it can be done 2 at a time, but I thought since I'm just trying this pattern out, I am going to do them 1 at a time. I'll stick a picture in. This is what the socks look like. They are awesome. So I'm trying a new sock pattern and I'm trying a new heel. All about the new things. Is there anything else? No, that's everything. It's finally you! Well, Andrew will show you yarn. We'll do what we did last week. We'll show you the yarn, then we'll put a timestamp in of when you can come back if you don't want to see any progress.
You'll be lucky for progress.
Can I just point out there's probably not going to be any progress because I don't think he's knit on it at all.
I have. What have I done? There's just...
Right, may I make a suggestion?
No. No time off.
I'm not talking about time off.
Alright.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Admit you don't like the shawl.
No, I do like the show. It's challenging.
Right.
It just keeps
Andrew,
me...
do you like the show?
No. I never said that. You say, Andrew, did you hate it? And I'm saying hate's a strong word. I don't hate it. It's challenging. It keeps my brain occupied. It's just finding the motivation to knit in it. It's the same with my sock. It's not been knit on.
Because that's still waiting on a heel. I'm getting to the stage. You realise that Mandy's sock along was a full 60 days.
Yes.
And you couldn't knit one single sock in 60 days.
I'm stopping and waiting for it next. I need to do it. Because I'm thinking...
Tomorrow night when you come in, I'm going to switch your internet off and it won't go on until you've put a...
In for where am I going
your
at
work.
night? No, I'm not working at night.
That's what I said. When you come in from your work tomorrow...
Night,
your
you
internet.
said night.
When you come in from your work tomorrow... Right, well, tomorrow... Even better. Tomorrow morning, your internet will go off.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will. And you'll not be allowed to knit. You'll not be allowed to...
No, you said that. I'm not going to be allowed to knit.
Your internet won't go on. Go back on until you've put a heel in that sock. I will do your other heel.
No. I'm doing it myself. I think that now I want to get that done, then I'll take a break. I want to finish that section, then I'll take a break.
Right, you're going to finish that section.
Then,
so your internet will go off until you finish that section.
No. I'll do it. I think everything it's trying to find the motivation for anything. Like knitting wise. Though I'm thinking hat to try get it back, because it is a sweary word cold now and kinda big lugs. So when I go outside they're getting cold, and my cows and that, if I pull them up I get a cold neck. Can I have a cold neck? So I need a hat. So I'm thinking break, something new, back to socks. So stuff will be done. Anyway, tangent colours. So my first colour is by...
Wow, that's bright.
It is really, it's not... Well, I mean, I'm saying it's not that bright, but it is. That's about as bright.
That's probably as close as you're going to get to it.
It is a neon, not as bright as that, but it is by Coop Knits, which is Coop Knits Sock Yeah, shade number 1001, which is helium. It's a 75% merino, 25% nylon. You get 211 meters and 50 grams, and I have, is it 100 or 50?
100.
100. My colour B is Drops Fable, shade number 106, which is red. 75% wool, 25% nylon. You get 205 meters and 50 grams. I have 100 grams. I'm learning. My next one, colour C, is again Drops Fable. It is shade number 114, which is pearl grey. It is grey. Again, 75% wool, 25% nylon. Again, 205 meters and 50 grams. I have 100 grams. Another Drops Fable.
Can you tell I was getting rid of all my Drops Fable?
Yes. This is shade number 108. That was a struggle. It is royal blue, and it is royal blue. I keep forgetting to tell you what it's made of. It is again a 75% wool, 25% nylon. Again, 205 meters and 50 grams. I have 100. My colour E, which is Arya Barks Yarns. Wow, brain stopped working. Which is so 75-25, which is squished Kermit.
Sock 75-25.
Sock 75-25 and squished Kermit. My own creation. But I like it, I love it. It's mine. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get 400 metres and 100 grams. That's a lot. Bang for your buck. I don't know. So that is my will.
I'll leave a timestamp here for when, if you don't want to see the progress, there's no lunch.
There's a few rows actually.
So see you shortly.
Oh yeah. Middle of a row. Well, is it? It's somewhere. So this is it. I am working on my final.
See if you hold it. Like, I'll hold here.
I'm showing it. It doesn't matter.
Hold.
They've already seen it though. It doesn't really change.
It's a bit showing. Hold it up. Right, you pull down on that bit, I'll pull down on this bit. That's actually really bony. Could you stretch that bit out a bit?
But like, they've already seen that last week.
That is really nice.
I am on my final wedge.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's the final one. Because I only have 2 stitches left once I'm done it. Which means I'll finish it.
Oh, so yeah. No, I didn't believe you.
I'm thinking about just buying it off here, and it's a shawl for Ellie. It's a cat shawl. Could you bind it off here?
Well, he's doing a pupography, which is a dog version of the shawlography. So there's the cat version. That's a catography.
Catography. Just you finish here. So I am using a 3.5mm higher sharp.
I will give Andrew, know the now because it still fits on that cable, a 40-inch cable.
Oh,
if and when he ever gets to it. Right now, as things stand, there is every chance I'm going to take the 40-inch cable, 40-inch, 60-inch cable, and put it on my own jumper.
I don't think I'll be there for a while. I am thinking about, Stephen says, don't get stressed, or I don't know.
Say yes, don't stress.
It's a bit of stress, mostly because how many times I had to redo it.
You might want to stick. I would put all your yarn in first before sticking it.
Yeah, that is. But I am, and it is new stuff, learning new stuff, doing new stuff 400 times.
If you read the pattern properly in the first place, you wouldn't be
I know.
making
It is, I'm
mistakes.
just having, I just didn't read that. So, I am liking it. It is learning new things. It's just, I don't know. I like it. I like the pattern and the new things. I just don't know if it's of course I'm weird that I like knitting it. So would it be I like the pattern but I don't like knitting it? Have I answered my own question?
No, because that doesn't make sense. I'm not getting what you mean. You're either a process knitter or you're a product knitter. A process knitter likes the process of knitting, so it doesn't, like for me, I enjoyed knitting it. I just don't particularly like the end product. There is parts of the product I love, parts of the product I like, and there's a single part of the product that I just don't like at all. A product knitter isn't that bothered about the knitting, but likes the actual product. And I don't think I sway with you whether it's the process or the product. If you're a process knitter or a product knitter.
At this point I'm more of a product than the fact that I've seen what it ends at, and I'm kind of like, because obviously there's pictures I saw before being like, I'd never wear it. And I think it could be that the fact that it's a shawl, I don't wear shawls. I honestly...
You could wear it as a scarf, round and under your coat, but...
It's not something I see
I'm not
myself
particularly
using.
want to rain on your parade.
By what?
By putting my negative feelings on your project.
Oh no, I don't like the look of it. For me, it's too... There's too many colours for me in it. I don't like the fact that there's 5 different colours.
See, I like the fact that there's 5 different colours. What I don't like is the macaroni. I don't like the macaroni.
I think for me there's just too much like colour wise going on. Like most of the stuff I knit are, you're lucky if it's 2 different
I
things.
think at times you need brought out of your comfort zone, because you've knit a lot of products that are grey.
Because I wear a lot of dark clothes and that's my colour scheme. It's grey.
Sometimes you need to expand your colour palette. Actually, can I...
Socks.
Right, your... Unicowl was grey. Your Raffles hat was grey.
To match the cowl.
Then you knit the tippet, which was grey with flecks of white.
Fluffy grey.
Then you done the It's No a Snood, It's a Cowl, and grey and white. Then you done
My blanket.
your habitation throw, which
Oh yeah.
was a lot of colours, so I'll give you that one. So we're up at 5. 6, there was your fluffy blanket, which is grey.
To be fair, if they did an orange and white one, that it would have been orange and white.
I'm just saying, you knit a lot of grey. You need to add some colour in your life.
I do buy socks. And also, can you say the paw socks that I'm planning on doing? I'm doing multiple
You
pairs.
need to be able to do heels.
Orange and white, possibly a grey. And maybe a black and red just for a bit of spice. A wee bit of spice. Getting spicy.
Yeah.
And your next pattern. It's just not the Andrew hour.
Now, you may see the pattern for me. Some may say I have issues. Now, I am on a 32-inch cord, so it's going to be really hard to show this off. But, and it would help if I took the ball wheel out my jumper, my cardigan. This is the Circle by Albina McLaughlin. Are you seeing a pattern, people? Are we seeing a pattern? Slightly obsessed. This is not the Albina McLaughlin podcast. I'm just very obsessed with her patterns.
To be fair, my mum probably wishes it was.
Yes, I
You want to replace me, don't you?
Albina, there's a room there. Modifications, absolutely none. I am following this as per the pattern. Size, I am doing a size 4, which is 130, it's not 130 centimetres, it's 120 centimetres and 48 inches. I have, when I showed it the last time, I had realised that I'd done the sleeve in a 4mm needle when it should have been a 5. So I've ripped it back, got my wee nugget there to start again. This was where it was last time. I've done a fair wee bit, my wee happy penguin. I've done a fair wee bit. I've just done 2 inches. I'm going to mark how many inches I've done, just to keep track. What else? I am using Stylecraft Special DK in shade 1708, which is petrol. It is 100% acrylic. You get 294 metres and 100 grams. I will be using a 5mm, a 4mm and a 3mm needle. I love it. Albina is still my happy place. Love Albina's patterns. This is a paid for. I've just dropped a stitch. Oh, didn't I? It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, or as I said regarding the integrated socks, if you contact Albina directly on Instagram, she'll arrange for payments and patterns to be sent and stuff like that if you're unable to use Ravelry. So just going to keep working away on that. Are you wanting to set a goal for next week?
Work on something.
No, I want a proper goal for you for next week. To have that section finished for next week.
And a heel.
That section and a heel.
Or just... Yeah, I should finish that section, to be fair.
See, to be honest with you, the heel's easy.
I know the heel's probably easy.
It'll take a wee while. It's no complicated if you watch the video.
I think it's the thing that I keep forgetting to actually put on my wool wash. So I've not been wearing my woolly socks. So it's kind of where I'm like, I'm knitting this, but like I've not worn it, so you don't need it. Though I do like socks.
Well,
though I need to think of the end goal. Once I get this sock done, I can work them up all socks.
once you get the heels put in, you'll be able to just keep knitting until you get to the ribbon at the top. And then you'll have a finished pair of socks. So, go for next week. What are you going for?
Heel.
Right, so shawlography, what you wanting done with that? You're wanting section 2 finished?
Nice try.
What do you mean, nice try?
I want the wedges done.
Which is section 2.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Section 1's the bit at the top.
Just making sure. Like, you're not like, oh, you didn't actually like section 2 of this thing. You didn't actually do it. I know.
Right, so you're wanting to finish section 2. I am wanting to do at least another 2 or 3 inches on my Isley. The socks, I'm wanting to get to at least the heel on the first sock. Circle, realistically, I'll say another 2 inches on the ribbon. Don't you sit there wowing at me.
I'm not a went down. Wow.
I want to get at least another 2 or 3 inches a ribbon done on the circle. That's my plan.
I'm confused at how you can go around in circles and make a cardigan now that we're
See, I'm needing to get the body done and finished so that I can actually put it on and figure out what way my sleeves are going to go.
Because you're on ribbon and that's generally like either colours, yet it still looks like a beret. So I'm like,
I think it's only looking like a beret because the needle's not big enough.
the cable.
The cable's not big enough, so hence why it looks like a beret. But one sleeve is in, the other sleeve will go on.
Don't you have a 40 or 60 inch cable sitting there that you could use?
Yes.
Then put it on it, because I'm so confused.
Right, I'll stick it on later on. I'll stick on.
I'm not going to be up later on.
I'll show you it tomorrow. I'll put it on the 6-inch one and see. Because I really do need to measure it, because I've got a sneaky suspicion that I should have done it slightly bigger. So, that is all the whips. How's the yak?
It is, well, I'm not going to say it's fine, it is getting better. I want to thank all you lovely people for all the
sympathy, because apparently I don't give them any.
None. Practically kicked to my work.
Out your eye.
It is getting better. Can't tell the difference, and like, is my sight returning? Because one, I'm using eye drops to make my eye blurry, because it enlarges it, and two, because
he can't wear his contact lenses for a month.
But it's less red. There's no redness in it by the looks of it. It's the same as that eye. So that's either that one's went or I'm home. It's the wrong thing.
No, your eyes are
back to normal. So I'm hoping tomorrow when I go back to the optician, she goes, "It's all healed," and I can go, "Yay, contacts."
No, she told you wouldn't be allowed to put your contacts back in.
No, that's how long the treatment was supposed to last, but I'm thinking, considering she just chucked.
She won't let you put your contacts in until your vision stops being blurry. As I said to you, just go for the cheap. Just say to them, "What's the cheapest pair of glasses you have? Can I have them?"
But they're like,
because I have zero intentions of wearing them.
To be fair, I'm only buying them to, one, shut you up so I can tell you, shut your face. And my optician, she's like, "You should have glasses." I'm like, "I've got contacts. I've got glasses."
You do need glasses.
I know, I actually should.
Because it's not healthy for your eye to have your eyeball covered for that length of time.
I take it out.
And it's, yes, you take it out and you don't put anything else on, which is causing eye strain.
To be fair, I think it is with me working there. I'm still going, so I think it has been the length of time with my contacts that's caused the problem.
I know for a fact it is. Plans for this week: Andrew has the optician tomorrow. Andrew may have narrowly escaped them scraping his eyeball with a cotton bud.
Oh, they don't. The hospital does, and I don't go to hospital. I will go when I'm dying. I was going to say dead, but you don't go to the hospital when you're dead.
I do go to the morgue.
Do you? I thought you went straight to the funeral place.
No.
Well,
you would still go to them.
When dying?
Oh no, up here no, you get sent straight to the funeral place. No, you would still have to have a coroner's report, which is done at the morgue, so show your face.
Dying or dead, and by dying I mean when I feel
when
that
limbs are falling off,
or most of my blood is on the outside, that is when I go. Otherwise I just feel like I'm a problem, and they don't need problems. They've got enough, so I'm fine.
So he would rather make himself blind.
Well.
Opticians tomorrow for Andrew. What have I got on this week? I don't think anything. Knit Natters are a Monday at 8 PM GMT and a Friday at 11 AM GMT. Anything else? Thank you to the lovely Zoom ladies for wishing Ryan a very happy birthday on Friday. He was 8 minutes loyal.
I left the receipt and the price on the bag.
Yeah. He went to hand Ryan his Christmas bag because he never got my birthday one.
We have stopped selling birthday bags. Why, I don't know, because people still have birthdays.
And as he went to hand it to Ryan, I was like, "Andrew, you've left the price on that bag." And he's like, "Oh, it's fine." I was like, "Have you actually checked to make sure none of the presents have prices on them?" He was like,
"None of them have."
"We don't price any of your presents."
Nothing else. I swear.
So you left the receipt in the bag.
The reason the receipts were in the bag is because rather than what I could have done which was buy it at the end of my shift, I decided I'll buy it on my first break. So I had to keep the receipt in the bag so they know I'm not stealing. Because I could have bent the receipt if they scribbled on it, but my supervisor was like, no, I'm not going to scribble on it because it's a present. And I'm like, well, it's a box and I don't think he'd care. But she's like, no, I'll just sign your receipt. And I'm like, cool.
Great.
If you want.
If you would like to join in any of the Zooms on a Monday or a Friday morning, a Monday evening or a Friday morning, message me on Instagram, which is Arya Bark, and we'll add you to the group where you will receive the passcode and the room IDs, and we chat in between stuff. Is that everything? Can I go for a cup of tea now? Yes, I can.
Yes.
So we hope you have a very crafty week, and we'll see you back here again next week.
Arr! Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.